welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Bulls.
They've set the first half tone by really getting out in transition.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Randolph is out there with Jordan Hamilton. Then it's Nate Robinson. Then there's Foy. And it's Hickson in at the 5 spot. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. J.J. Hickson last season was 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. He says, quote, all gas, no brakes. That's the way I was taught to play the game. But he says he's much more than just a hustle guy, adding that calling him that takes away from my overall game. I can shoot, I can make basketball plays. He did improve his jump shot last season, and at 25, he has plenty of room to grow, guys.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks. Dang passes to Red. Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And I think the sort of issues they had on defense, in part at least, was a bigger factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was on the road. You have to be sharper when you go out and play as a visitor.
Yeah, everything has to be tight. Can't be loose in any aspect of your game. You're fighting against the crowd and the opponent. You've got to be tougher, mentally and physically, if you're going to win on the road.
Gets it to go. Boy's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over.
Well, you know, he almost seems to enjoy those mismatches, Steve. It gives him a chance to show what a strong finisher he is. Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these threes. It might be time to get inside of that arc.
And the call will be against Red Hot. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the Nuggets making a change here. Miller's checked in. He kicks it to Gallinari. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. Chicago leading by 7.
And Gallinari, a 6'10 small forward, highly skilled, excellent size, really good mobility as well. That makes him a really confident, capable player at both ends of the floor and gives him an advantage because of that 6'10 frame.
Back to Hickson. He passes to Gallinari. The feed now to Robinson. Working on Rose. Robinson with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Just 5 to shoot. And the call will be against Red Hot. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And Gallinari, Clark, you mentioned, good size, moves his feet well defensively. I'll be anxious to see how he comes back from his blown knee.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned the defense, Kevin. He's frequently called upon to guard some of the best players in the league, guys like LeBron or Kobe. Usually a man his size isn't going to draw a lot of perimeter defensive assignments, but Gallinari can really move.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
Rose against Robinson. Feeds to Miller. Back to Robinson. They swipe it. Let out the pass to
and this sort of awesome dunk. Is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right. Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Robinson with it. Butler covering. Stripped it away. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Another steal. And finished off by Rose.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
It's Miller on the wing, looking to end the run. Here's Fareed. Outside Butler. The pass to Red. Stolen by Randolph. Another steal. And that one's good. And the Bulls lead by 16.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bull. 8th in rebounds, 8th in assists. And they were top 10 in free throw percentage. That's always helpful in winning games.
And what stands out to me, Clark, with what you just talked about is the rebounds, because this is a very physical team. They like to try to bully their opponent at both ends of the floor. On the defensive glass, they were excellent, and then offensively on missed shots, they really got after it and tried to get second chance points.
Pass to Foy. Kicks to Hamilton. Pass to Miller. Dishes to Foy. Hamilton outside. Sinks the triple. Hamilton's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Yeah, shoddy defense there. Far too slow to react on the closeouts.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Red hot in the last game against the Bobcats was superb. He had 58 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Just absolutely incredible numbers from him in a game you didn't want to miss. So glad we were here to watch it, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. He played at a level that very few players are capable of playing, Clark.
Yeah, I agree. I was just glad I got a chance to witness it. It's always such a special night when a player of his caliber gets so locked in and focused.
And you know, in an 82-game season with so much talent, every once in a while, everything's going to click. And that was definitely the case that night.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. For the 3. Fires for 3. Arthur grabs the board.
Well, most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
No good from Red Hot. Here's Foy, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Well, you got to admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season, shooting better than 90% from the stripe.
He's been a completely different guy at the line this season. I mean, last year, you weren't sure what you were going to get when he got to the stripe. And there's no way we could have expected such a huge increase in those free throw percentage numbers.
And that concludes the first half. Bulls lead by 14. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports. Who doesn't like a little basketball late at night? Chicago with the lead against the Nuggets over at Pepsi Center. They've yet to lose so far this season and are looking fantastic in this one, too. For Red Hot, a follow-up performance tonight after the win they had against Charlotte. He's racked up 23 points, and on the defensive side of the floor, he's definitely been contributing with some focused defensive work.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Just absolute domination in this one for Red Hot. He has 23 points, and he's pickpocketed the ball 5 times.
I had no idea we'd be seeing a performance like this one today.
Totally dominant. I mean, pure domination.
Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Dang and Boozer, they make up the forwards. Red Hot is out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Noah in at the center, pulling out the middle. A second chance effort, and that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
Steve, another signature part of his game is the way he runs the pick and roll. He gets so many easy baskets that way. It's a play they should run for him as often as they can.
Here's Red Hot. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. That's now 26 points for Red Hot.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Here is Miller, averaging 6 points per contest.
You know, one of the things that's really hard to do in the NBA, it's actually one of the hardest things to do in the NBA, is to stay in front of Derrick Rose. I mean, it's not just his burst of speed or his quick first step, but he's got one of the meanest, nastiest, filthiest crossovers in the entire league. And then you add his strength and explosiveness in the air to that, that's lethal.
And Fareed kicks to Miller. Back to Fareed. Passes it to Robinson. And here's Miller outside. It's rebounded by Red Hot. And for Rose, as he returns from his knee injury, you wonder how that'll affect his ability to blow by defenders. He's such a great quality he possessed prior to the injury. Shooting from the outside is solid, but he hasn't been elite to this point in his career with that shot. So there's a lot of unknowns still about his game being so young. You expect that.
It's going to be an adjustment, Kevin. I mean, you have to find your confidence after an injury like that. I think he is going to be a better shooter because there was one thing he could work on while he was out. It's that outside jump shot. But we got to give him some time to just get his confidence and find his game again.
And there's the pass to Red Hot. Drills the three-pointer. Red Hot's got 8 points here in this quarter.
Second three-pointer of the half, fourth overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And he dunks it down.
Boy, he wanted everybody in the building to know who threw that one down.
Hanging on the rim is, I guess, one way to do it.
It's the best way to do it, as long as you don't get teed up, I guess.
Last outing for Chicago. They won that game against Charlotte.
And they made their mark defensively that day. That was what was, I think, most impressive. Really caused a lot of problems in the paint.
Well, they spent a lot of that game in the air and got their hands on a lot of shots.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, there has been a lot of pressure on this Bulls team to get to the finals. Derrick Rose thinks that they are set up to win multiple championships. He says, quote, "To me, to win a championship, you need a team full of winners that's willing to sacrifice. We got all the pieces, starting with the front office, our owners, the coaching staff, down to the players." That kind of quote puts more pressure on the team, but they are set to make a deep run, guys.
Defense, really their identity. That's how they win.
Well, I tell you what, the Nuggets turned that Pepsi Center into their own personal fortress last season, had the best record at home in the league. Nobody could run with them when the game was played at the Pepsi Center.
Miller kicks to Robinson. That's good, and it's Miller with the assist. Robinson's got his first 2 points. Chicago with the ball. A 14-2 run over the last bit. Red Hot. And Carlos Boozer gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. The Bulls making a switch here. Denver's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Let's take a moment to look at the 2K leaderboard and see last year's high-scoring teams. The Nuggets, number 1.
Yeah, number 1 in the league in points per game a year ago. They played with so much confidence and such unselfish basketball.
Pass to Red Hot. Denver grabs the miss. In that home record of the Nuggets, you mentioned Clark, 38-3. Been a long time since someone has been able to put up a home record like that, Steve. Pretty impressive.
Well, it's always been difficult for teams to go to Denver and play at high altitude. And then you factor in all the back-to-backs and the fact that the airport is a long way from Denver. They're in a different time zone than a lot of teams in the West. So throw all that stuff together, and it's tough to roll in there, arrive 3 or 4 in the morning, and try to win the next night. Denver really taking advantage of their geographical area.
Gets it to go.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Chicago leading by 23. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Red Hot's got 40 points. Denver's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Robinson against Rose. Rose and wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. So it's Chicago now. Here's Red Hot. The quick look, no good that time.
It's like he's just trying to showcase his range, but he could probably get a better shot in that possession.
Yeah, he sure could. It doesn't do you any good if you miss it from that deep.
Robinson dishes to Fareed. Here's Red Hot. He has 40. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Chicago.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive, attacking and coming away with steals.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
Catching up on the changes for Denver. Mozgov, he's checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Randolph comes in for Jarrell Arthur. Quincy Miller's checked in for Gallinari. And it's Foy in for Nate Robinson. Didn't think that was going to go in. Red Hot's got 46 points.
They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
Another steal. Here we go, all alone. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Chicago shooting their third free throw attempt of the game.
And they averaged about 77% from the free throw line a year ago. So this is a solid free throw shooting team.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Dunleavy passes to Red Hot. Lets it go from deep. And it's Randy Foy with the rebound. Nuggets have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Foy off a pick from Randolph. And Foy kicks to Randolph. He feeds it to Hamilton. The offensive rebound. The second effort. Off target with that shot. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over already.
Come to where the action is. See your Bulls up close and personal. Always great to see Red Hot doing what he does best. Make sure to be there. Remember, you are the home court advantage.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here.
You know, the high-octane offense and the up-tempo brand of basketball the Nuggets played really was quite effective in being able to kind of dominate Eastern Conference teams.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. So out there for the Nuggets right now, they've got Mozgov. Coyle is out there with Jordan Hamilton. Then it's Quincy Miller. And it's Randolph in at the 4-man position. Well, and back to the Nuggets. They did well against the East, as you alluded to, Clark. They were 19-11, Steve, against the conference as a whole.
Well, that's right where they wanted to be record-wise, Kevin. And even though the Nuggets got out and ran, you know, they could actually still play with a physicality as well when they went up against the East. So they did pretty well. They swept the entire Central Division, and they were the only team to go undefeated against an individual division all last year.
The pass to Red Hot. The dish to Dunleavy. Pass to Red Hot. Lets the 3 fly, and the Bulls another 3.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes, having been behind the 3-point line. So got to make some adjustments defensively.
Foy, the pass to Hamilton. Miller, no luck.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Here's a look at what's coming up for the Nuggets. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand.
Some good matchups, and that Dallas Mavericks game definitely one to be checking out.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. The Nuggets have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Foy dishes to Arthur. Hamilton. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Chicago called for the foul.
Well, he's so dangerous on the offensive glass. You know, well, Clark, what's your expression for it? Glass eater?
That's right. You got it, Steve. A go-and-get-it specialist is another way to look at him. He follows every shot, never assumes it's going in.
Offensive rebound. Puts up a three. No good from Red Hot.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
And Miller throws it down hard.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, but he pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
Hamilton kicks to Foy. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Finishes the break with a slam.
You know, as soon as that steal was made, it was over. That was going to be a bucket the whole way.
That's exactly how a turnover cost you.
Takes a three. That's good.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Here's Red Hot. Gets the front of the rim and out. Denver's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's Miller. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Hamilton. Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
And stolen by Miller. And now Miller running the floor all by himself.
Oh, how about that basketball, man? Wow.
Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw it.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
This guy's putting on a clinic out there. Everything is sound and sharp and crisp. He's really the centerpiece of their offense.
Poke loose. There's Red Hot, covered by Hamilton. No good from Red Hot.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hamilton's got 7 now in this quarter.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Here's Red Hot. No good.
That's the kind of defense required when you get the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
That could have major consequences, Kevin. With this game still in question, it's really a...
Excellent performance in tonight's game. In case you hadn't heard, you set your career high in points. How did it feel to be on such a roll on offense?
I had a lot of fun tonight, man. When your shots are falling and you're putting up points, it's really a great feeling. Sometimes you're just in the zone and you got to do what you can to take advantage of that. I was happy to make my mark on the game tonight the way I did.